Greetings, Nick with Sweetwater here, and in today's lesson we're going to be learning one of heavy metal's most iconic riffs of all time, Randy Rhoads' riveting main riff in Crazy Train. This stunning 6-string steamer right here. All aboard! What an amazing riff that is. Timeless and instantly recognizable. It's also a great alternate picking workout, and it also calls on you to use your pinky a lot as well, namely this little boy here. Perfect. Crazy Train appeared on Ozzy Osbourne's now legendary debut solo album, Blizzard of Ozz. This one right here. Released in late 1980 in England and in early 1981 in America, this stunning LP introduced the world to one of the greatest and most influential metal guitar players to ever walk this planet, the late, great Randy Rhoads. In fact, as Crazy Train was the first single released off the album, it was the song which introduced Randy's guitar playing genius to many people for the very first time, and thus a legend was born. As already mentioned, the main F-sharp minor riff we're going to learn is one of the most instantly recognizable and most revered metal riffs of all time. And in my opinion, it's an essential riff for you to get in your playing arsenal as quickly as humanly possible, especially if you're just starting out on your guitar playing journey. And this is who this lesson is aimed at, incidentally. Future rock guitar heroes of all ages. So without further ado, let's get to it, shall we? The riff we're going to learn, namely this one here in case you've forgotten, consists of 16 notes and uses all 7 notes in the F-sharp natural minor scale, which sounds like this. Now, in case you're interested, these 7 notes are as follows. F-sharp, G-sharp, and A on the low E string, which are at the 2nd, 4th, and 5th frets, respectively, like this. Then B, C-sharp, and D on the A string, which happen to be at the same exact frets, namely 2, 4, and 5. So. And the last note, an E, is at the 2nd fret on the D string. And as you may have already noticed, the neat thing about the first 6 notes is that the fingering pattern you use to play them is the same on the E and A strings, namely first finger at the 2nd fret, 3rd finger at the 4th fret, and wait for it, yep, your pinky at the 5th fret. Remember, use this little guy. Don't avoid him. That said, what we have is this, total symmetry. Same fingering on 2 strings. Nice! As for note number 7, the E, we're actually not going to play that on the D string as I've previously showed you. We're actually going to play it using the open low E string. No fingers required. Like it, just pick the open string and you're rocking. Incidentally, if you're not familiar with the natural minor scale, you should be, darn it. I say this because the 7-note scale is pretty darned important in metal. But if you don't know it yet, my friend, don't worry, because there just so happens to be a link to a lesson on it in the video description below. So, what are you waiting for? If you don't know this scale, merely jump off this train for a few minutes, go learn it, and then come right back. I'll wait for you to reboard right here in this station, I promise. I'm sure you'll be happy to hear that we're going to learn the 16 notes in this riff by breaking it down into 4 easy-to-digest, bite-sized chunks, with each chunk consisting of, wait for it, yep, 4 notes. Chunk 1 happens to be a nice, easy one to ease ourselves into this journey. Here it is. And again, a hair slower. The first 2 notes are the F-sharp note at the 2nd fret on the low E string, and we're going to alternate pick them as already mentioned. So we go down pick, then up pick, like this. down, up. We're going to call this F sharp note the root note, by the way. Why? Because we're playing in F sharp minor and it's the first note of the scale we're using. It's where the scale begins, where it grows from, hence the term root note. Got it? Good, let's get on. Our next note, which we play with the down pick, is the one at the 4th fret on the A string. As for note number 4, all we do is go back to our root note again, which is the F sharp at the 2nd fret on the low E string, which we play with an upstroke like this. So chunk 1 is this. And remember, alternate pick this sucker, down, up, down, up. Like I said, chunk 1 is a nice, easy start. Next up is chunk 2, which is this one right here. So it's the D note at the 5th fret on the A string, which we play with your pinky, followed by the root note at the 2nd fret on the low E string. Then the next note is a C sharp at the 4th fret on the A string, which you play with your 3rd finger, followed by, wait for it, yep, the root note again on the low E string. So chunk 2 is this. And once again, we continue our alternate picking pattern on this one too, so it's down, up, down, up. Once you've got chunk 2 down, it's time to play chunk 1 and chunk 2 together as one, just like this. And here it is again, a little bit slower. Now, as you've no doubt noticed, every other note in our first 8 is the root note, namely the F sharp at the 2nd fret of the low E string. Just so you know, a riff like this is sometimes called a pedal point riff, because we're literally pedaling around a repeated note. And in this case, it's the root note, the F sharp. Anyway, quick music theory lesson over. Let's get back to our riff, shall we? As we're already halfway there, because 8 is half of 16. Math genius. Next up is chunk number 3, this one right here. And again, just a hair slower. As you can see, this one calls on you to use your pinky quite a lot. Now the first note is a B note at the 2nd fret on the A string, which you fret with your first finger like this, with a downstroke. Then we go to our dreaded little fingered note at the 5th fret on the low E string. Then we go to the 4th fret note with our 3rd finger on the same string. Then back to the pinky again on the same string, 5th fret low E. So it's first finger, then 3rd, back to little. Once you've mastered this one, it's time to add it on to chunks 1 and 2 so we can play all 3 together, just like this. And again, a little bit slower. Not bad, huh? Now, time for chunk 4, and as luck would have it, the first 3 notes of chunk 4 are exactly, I repeat, exactly the same as the first 3 you've just mastered in chunk 3, namely these ones. So 2nd fret on the A string, with your first finger, then little finger on the low E string at the 5th fret, then 3rd finger at the 4th fret of the same low E string. As for the last note, the missing note, guess which one it is? Yup, the one we haven't played yet, namely E. And as already mentioned, we're not going to fret this sucker, we're just going to play the open low E string. To quote Spinal Tap or misquote them, none more easy. So chunk 4 is this. And again, a hair slower. Nice! So let's tack it on to the end of chunks 1, 2, and 3 together, and we've got the entire riff, which goes like this. And again, just a smidgen slower. And once again, my friends, at the point of repeating myself, which I do when under stress, remember, use strict, alternate picking. I repeat, strict alternate picking. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And remember, use your pinky, don't avoid the little guy. To play this classic section exactly as it sounds on the record, what you do is this. You repeat the 16-note riff you've just learnt 3 times, and then you tag this onto the end. And again, a hair slower. What I'm doing here is actually very easy, so don't fret. What I'm doing is first playing chunk 1 again, followed by chunk 2 except with a different last note, namely the B note at the 2nd fret of the A string instead of the root note at the same fret on the low E string. So what I'm doing is instead of playing this, I'm playing this. Got it? So if you like, we'll call that chunk 2 slightly altered. Then to finish it all off, all you do is this. You play an open D5 power chord, followed by an open E5 power chord. Pretty simple, right? And if you don't know these chords, shame on you, but they're on the screen for good measure. Oh yeah, and if you like, you could play these 2 power chords as bar shapes on the A, D, and G strings, just like this. D5 to E5, 2 frets higher at the 7th fret. Once again, they're on the screen. D5 and E5, same shape, just 2 frets apart. 5th fret for D, 7th fret for E5. Oh, and by the way, as you probably ascertained from what I played earlier, when I play the E5, I'm going to add the open low E string note for more girth, like this. This is good. This is none more better. Yep. Just like our good old pal Yngwie likes to remind us, less isn't more, more is more. And there you have it, my fellow guitar-playing friend, the timeless, memorable magic that the late, great Randy Rhoads created with the simple F-sharp natural minor scale with some deft pedal point action. Have fun with this gem and try and work some pedal point magic into your own riffage. After all, it's an essential part of a staple metal diet. Also, if there are any other Randy Rhoads riffs or licks you'd like me to cover in future lessons, please let me know in the comments below. That said, I'm out. All aboard! Thank you very much indeed for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment nicely please, and also subscribe. Click here for more videos like this, or start at sweetwater.com for all of your music instrument and pro audio needs. Here's wishing you a wonderful ride aboard Ozzy's crazy train. Safe travels, my friend. See ya.